In the forgotten town of Grayhaven, there's a place where laughter has long since faded, a playground built on the bones of an old carnival, its rusted swings creaking under the weight of secrets. They say it was meant to honor a lost soul, but something sinister took root instead. A tattered flyer, yellowed by time, keeps appearing, promising a prize to those who dare to claim it. I've spent years chasing its shadow, collecting stories from those who crossed its path. What follows are 3 tales, each a fragment of a nightmare that lingers in Grayhaven. Listen closely. Some games don't let you leave. Story 1: Emily's Game. My name is David, and this is about my daughter Emily. We live near an old playground in Grayhaven. Its slides scarred with rust, its swings swaying in a wind that never came. The air was thick, like the world was holding its breath, and the shadows seemed to shift just out of sight. Emily, barely 6, was drawn to it. She'd climb the slide, her laughter sharp against the silence, but she'd linger, staring into corners where the light didn't reach. One gray afternoon, she pointed to the shadows beneath the slide and whispered, "They're behind there." Her eyes gleamed with a secret I couldn't grasp. I chalked it up to a child's imagination, invisible friends, harmless games. But her movements grew deliberate, almost ritualistic. She'd step to one spot, extend a trembling hand into the air, then retreat, her face taut with focus, as if following rules only she could hear. The playground felt wrong. The wind carried faint whispers, not quite human, and the swings creaked in a rhythm that matched no breeze. One evening, Emily stood frozen before the swing set, her eyes locked on the ground. "I lost," she said, her voice hollow, like it came from somewhere else. "They won't let me play anymore." I pressed her, but she shut down, refusing to return to the playground. Her fear was a cold weight in my chest. I went back alone, the playground draped in the dim glow of dusk. The air felt heavy, like wading through a dream you can't escape. Kneeling beneath the slide, I traced my fingers across the cold metal. There, etched deep, were names, dozens, paired with dates stretching back decades. Among them, clear as a wound, was Emily 1963. My heart stopped. My Emily was born in 2017. Next to her name, a sequence of rules. Step left. Wait. Reach. Retreat. The same steps she'd followed. The etchings seemed to pulse under my touch, and the air grew colder, the whispers louder, circling me. I stumbled back, the playground closing in, its boundaries blurring like a photograph left in the rain. Emily never spoke of it again, but I can't shake the feeling that she played a game she was never meant to win. Story 2: Joseph Discovery. I'm Joseph, and this happened when I was 15. I was helping my grandpa clear out my mom's old room when I found a faded flyer among dusty books and forgotten trinkets. It advertised a carnival that once stood in Grayhaven, promising a free prize at the ticket booth. On the back, in jagged handwriting, was a single line: "Bring this to claim what's yours." Grandpa's face darkened when I showed it to him. He said the carnival shut down years ago after a tragedy. A boy vanished, never to be found. The place was abandoned, its rides dismantled, replaced by a playground no one visited. My curiosity burned. I convinced 2 friends, Mike and Sarah, to check it out. That night, we slipped through a half-open gate into the playground, its rusted slides and broken swings looming like relics of a forgotten world. The air was thick with the smell of damp earth and something sour unplaceable. We wandered, our flashlights cutting through the dark, until I spotted a man on a bench behind a chain-link fence. He sat motionless, staring at nothing, his silhouette wrong somehow, too still, too angular. Mike called out, thinking he was a groundskeeper, but the man didn't react. I slid the flyer through the fence, and his head snapped toward us, eyes glinting like polished glass. I stammered my name, asking about the flyer. He stood slow and deliberate and said, "Some ties don't break." His voice was a low rasp, like leaves scraping stone. I pressed him about the boy who vanished, and he spoke of the carnival's founder, a man who built it to honor his lost son. Rumors swirled of a hidden prize, a game that lured kids into forbidden areas. One boy, clutching a flyer like mine, went in and never came out. "It's not one story," the man said, his gaze drifting to a point beyond me. "It's a pattern." The playground seemed to tighten around us, the shadows stretching too far. The man sat back down, muttering about his mother, his words unraveling into nonsense. We left, the flyer still caught in the fence, fluttering like a trapped moth. Grandpa dismissed it as the ramblings of a broken man, but I can't forget the man's eyes, or the feeling that the flyer was meant to find me. Story 3. Andrew's Disappearance. I'm Andrew, and I worked for Grayhaven's Public Works Department in the late 90s. My team was tasked with demolishing the old playground to make way for a parking lot. It was a routine job, or so I thought. The place was a ruin, rusted swings, a slide tilted like a broken bone, grass choking the equipment. Locals said no kids played there, not in years. The air felt stale, like it hadn't moved in decades. We started dismantling the structures, unbolting swings and slides, loading parts onto trucks. By the end of the first day, everything was in pieces. But the next morning, the playground was whole again, swings reattached, bolts tightened, as if we'd never touched it. The team was spooked, but I chalked it up to a prank. We tore it down again, working faster, and I posted 2 workers to watch the site that night. The third morning, one of them was gone. His truck sat idling, tools scattered in the back, his phone on the seat. We searched, shouting his name, but the playground swallowed our voices. The air grew heavy, the shadows too sharp, like they were watching us. The police found no traces, no struggle, no clues. The project was halted, the playground left untouched, a silent scar in Grayhaven. I heard whispers of a flyer, one that promised a prize but delivered only loss. I never saw it, but I felt its presence, like a weight in the air. The playground still stands, and sometimes, late at night, I swear I hear swings creaking, calling someone new to play. These stories are pieces of a puzzle I can't solve. The flyer, the playground, the vanishings, they're linked by something older than Grayhaven, something that waits in the spaces between. If you find a flyer promising a prize, burn it. Don't go to the playground. Some games are played forever.